I'm Joe Chile. You can listen to me mornings on the Big Weck. Joining us today on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise is Mark Klinger, who is from USA Insulation. He's the owner and president. Mark, welcome.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Nice to have you here. It's the time of the year. It's the season that people are going to start thinking about insulating their homes. And maybe, people will think, oh, it's too late, or we never insulated when we put that addition on, or, the attic isn't insulated, but it's never too late, is it?
Never too late to re-insulate. That's one of our slogans.
What does it add to home comfort? Do you really lose that much energy, that much heat out of a home that doesn't have proper insulation?
Oh, absolutely. Your walls alone, heat loss through your walls, about 35% of your heat/energy lost is going to go just through your walls alone. Not to mention your attic, potentially your rim joists in your basement. Energy waste is really the biggest problem that we're solving for people.
People at one point, I remember when I was growing up, as a kid, my father would get the big rolls of fiberglass insulation, right? And if you were smart enough, you wore gloves and a high-neck shirt and long sleeves so you weren't itching for days.
Right.
But anyway, you're taking that and you're tacking that up. And I think we even wore masks. You want to inhale that stuff. Is fiberglass insulation a thing of the past?
No, it's not a thing of the past. In fact, most home builders today, that's what they're using. It is the most cost-effective for new construction. That's what most builders use. Now, the standards for the type of that fiberglass and the thickness of it they used has increased over time, but it is still commonly used.
What about installation time? If somebody wants to have installation done in their home, is it a big process? Do they have to rip walls out to do it? What's the story?
So for our product, our premium injection foam, no, there is no demolition required. We install it cleanly from outside your home. 99% of our jobs are completed within 1 day. So we're there in the morning, we're gone before you're having dinner at night.
Are there any kind of programs through New York State, whatever, to kind of save money on things like this?
Absolutely. In fact, we, effective June 1st of 2023, we've been approved by the NYSERDA program, which is, excuse me, a statewide initiative that is meant for reducing the amount of fossil fuels that people use in their homes. So where that starts is what's called load reduction, insulating the shell of your home. So because we're an approved vendor of that program, we're able to offer people incentives through that program to have our insulation products and services done at their home. Some people can save, depending, there are some programs based on income where people can get 50% of the cost of their insulation provided by the program. Some can get 100% of it paid for, depending on their income. Everyone, however, at least qualifies for a rebate program. And we are happy to talk to people about that. We can tell them what they qualify for right over the phone when they call us.
What do you tell people? Because nowadays, people seem to, DIY is a big thing, do it yourself. I'm going to Google this online and see if I can do it myself. What do you tell people when they say, maybe I can just do this myself?
Well, when it comes to doing what we do in your home, there isn't a comparable product that anyone could do to their home on their own. It's a patented process and product that is only USA Insulation authorized franchises are allowed to use our proprietary injection foam in walls. So that wouldn't even be an option for someone to do themselves. As far as putting insulation in their attic or in a crawl space or something like that, I always look at it this way. You want the experts to make sure it's done right. And that's what we are. We're not just a contractor that happens to do insulation. We are an insulation contractor. That's what we do.
And when you start talking about insulation values, now this is all kind of foreign to me, but you talk about our values, right? What are our values? I don't know about your values. I know my values. No, what are our values?
So our value is, R stands for resistance. So the performance of insulation is measured on R value. The higher the R value, the more resistance between hot and cold that there will be in that insulation. So for instance, a fiberglass insulation product will have an R value of about 3.1 per inch. Cellulose, which is like ground up newspaper, that also has an R value of about 3.1 per inch. Our premium injection foam has an R value of 5.1 per inch. So what that means is in a 4-inch wall cavity, so a 2x4, wall, we can get over an R20 in that wall, which even with fiberglass, the best you can do is an R15.
Are people concerned at all, or is there a concern with safety when it comes to insulation?
Well, no, safety in regards to the house not having enough insulation, or
About fire hazards or things of this nature when it comes to insulation.
well, what I will say is most fiberglass insulation, it doesn't really do anything to protect your home from fire. Our product, our premium injection foam, is actually a fire retardant. So it doesn't, I want to say it prevents fire, but it will slow the burning of someone's home. It does come with some noise reduction benefits. It reduces allergens that are able to enter your home through unsealed areas within your walls and at the particularly your rim joists and your attic soffit vents and so on. It does reduce a lot of things that can make their way into your home. So all in all, there's several benefits to it.
Also, the sound, the sound deadening. I think well, for somebody that's been in media and radio his whole
Yeah.
life, sound deadening is something that I'm very interested in. So those are some of the benefits to the homeowner. What would be the first step that they do in the event that they question whether they have insulation or don't have insulation, or whether they have enough insulation?
Well, the first thing they do is pick up the phone and call us or schedule an appointment on our website. We do a free home inspection of your home insulation. Again, no cost to it. We'll tell you where your house is as far as today's building standards and the best quality that's out there versus what you currently have, offer you some solutions and give you some direction.
Mark Klinger from USA Insulation, we really appreciate you being with us.
Thank you very much. I was glad to be here.
For more information and answers to your questions, contact USA Insulation by calling 716-431-4500 or go to usainsulation.net/Buffalo. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise. For information on this and other shows, go to our website, bigwack.com, and find out how you can participate on the program if you're a hometown business. I'm Joe Chili. Thanks for watching and listening to the Big Wack, Buffalo's oldie station.